God has graciously given us £107,000 through our Season of Giving this year. And we've also actually got an additional £10,000 than what we budgeted through partnering with other organisations in rental income at the Citadel this year. So what we're going to use all of that money towards? Well, £40,000 we're going to allocate towards Citadel improvement projects. We'd originally said that we'd give £20,000 to this, which included the decoration of one of the kids' workrooms, a new toilet block, which we'd hope to fund through grant funding, some energy feasibility work, and repairing leaks in the roof and the windows. We're now able to increase that to £40,000, which is brilliant and will enable us to complete these projects to a really great standard. Hopefully it'll also help us to fast track some of the other projects on our long list of priorities that the building team has put together, whether that be expanding the current youth room or improvements to the foyer. It'll also give us the capital as well to cover a couple of the elements of the building that we know maybe present a risk and would be really expensive to mitigate while we investigate them further. So we should be able to ensure the absolute safety of the building for everyone who uses it through this money too. It may only be bricks and mortar, but God has really been using the building in such a manner of ways in the last few months beyond Sunday mornings, enabling us to connect and serve many nations through feasts, English lessons, restaurants, those in deep material need through food bank, putting on concerts, wellbeing evenings, the list goes on. It's also a means of ongoing financial provision for the church, bringing in around £60,000 of rental income this year. Now, we're already underway with some of the initial projects from the Season of Giving allocation. So by means of a bit of an update, here's Steve Knight with the latest on some of the stuff that's happening at the Citadel this summer.
Good afternoon, City Church. Just wanted to be able to give you a little bit of an update on some of the building works that we're doing around the Citadel throughout the summer, which has been made possible due to the very generous giving from all of you at the Season of Giving earlier on in the year. So we're currently up in the Strickland room, which is the Minis room, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, the very bright red and yellow one. And we're here doing a complete refurbishment in here just to make it a much more functional room for many different purposes. As part of that, we've taken out the sink behind me. It just wasn't really used and it was sort of got in the way and didn't really fit with the expected use of the building. Also, I'm blocking up the hatch, which was between this room and the storeroom, which I'm led to believe some of the City Church children found it was quite fun to actually climb through. So, not that I ever saw that, but that's just so I've been led to believe. But that's being blocked up so that it smartens up this room. Also, one of the window in this room, you can almost see straight away through the bottom of it because the wood was completely rotten. So we've now had that professionally repaired, so that's now as good as new. As well, while we're here, we're giving everything a complete lick of paint and smartening it all up and putting down new carpet on the floor. So that's probably one of the most visible bits of work we've done doing in the Citadel over the summer. However, there's a whole bunch of other things that we need to do just to keep the building sort of nice and smart and watertight. So as well as the window in this room, 8 of the windows up above the main hall, which you may or may not have noticed if you look up, they were rotten as well and starting to let water through, and we've had those professionally repaired to hopefully make them last for another 30-40 years, hopefully. Also, we're up on the roof, there was some slipped slates, there was some lead work that was missing or displaced or damaged, and we're getting some specialists in to repair that. And hopefully that will resolve some of the little bits of stains that a few observant of you who've been looking up and around the building will have noticed little damp patches just around corners around the ceiling in the main hall. So we also, as part of our work on the building, we've had a professional historic building survey, and they've highlighted a few other things which we're doing a bit of investigative work on. One of them being the plasterwork on the ceiling. There's just some slight concerns about sort of the integrity of that. It's been up for 140 years, and we had the specialist in who's had a thorough inspection and given us a detailed report on that one, so we can then plan for the future as to what else we need to do. So in addition, one of the things we are looking at is you'll have all have seen the toilets, and they're functional, but they're looking a little bit tired now. And so as part of this, we're doing an initial scoping to try and understand how we can change those, how we can completely refurbish them. We will be looking at seeing if we can get some external funding to completely redo the toilets, but as part of the Season of Giving, we're using some money to do some planning work and to actually see to start that process moving forward. So hopefully it gives you a bit of a look-see. Feel free to come and find me and ask me if you've got any other questions about the things we're doing. So it's not things you get to see, you get to see a great deal about, but it's all really important things to help us look after this building so it can keep on serving us for many years into the future.